It's all about me.
This is the Dan Patrick Show podcast.
There is more where that came from.
Click back for new episodes all week long.
Back to the Mercedes Man Cave.
Look out, mother!
Here's Dan Patrick.
Welcome to the program. Hour one on this Thursday. Dan and the Danettes, the Dan Patrick Show. A lot of things to talk about. U.S. Open underway. We have our U.S. Open draft coming up in about 45 minutes. World Cup underway. Russia versus Saudi Arabia. You throw out the records when those two get together. 877-3DP shows the phone number. Our Twitter handle is @DP Show. Rocco Mediate will join us coming up in about 15 minutes. And then there's a reason why we're having Rocco on, because this year's U.S. Open marks the 10-year anniversary of Tiger beating Rocco in a playoff at Torrey Pines. And it was incredible. It was great golf in the moment. We didn't know that Tiger Woods was going to need major knee surgery. But he gutted his way through the pain, captured his 14th major, and at that moment we thought, how many majors is he going to end up with? 25? 30? You know, he was going to zero in on Jack's record, of course. But if I would have told you in that moment, after Tiger won the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines, you know, that guy's not going to win another major for the next decade, nobody would have bet on that. But we didn't know the personal demons with Tiger. We just knew the red shirt and a fist pump and a great focus when the match was on the line. When you needed to make a putt, he made a putt. We didn't know what was going on behind the curtain. And here we are a decade later. Tiger is still trying to come back. And sometimes we see the glimpses of the old Tiger, not Tiger in 2000, but we're seeing the old Tiger, not an older Tiger. And then you start to see the older Tiger. But in 2008, he did the impossible. We'll see if he's got another miracle left in that golf bag as he starts the U.S. Open at Shinnecock. Probably not the course where you're going to find that miracle in the bag, because this course will bring out the best golfer in the world. It'll be really tough to kind of find your way through 4 rounds there and you go, wait, that guy won? It's a pretty good test, one of the truer tests that you have when it comes to the U.S. Open. So we'll talk to Rocco Mediate about it. And we were talking about this prior to the show. How many people, how many teams are remembered because they lost something? And we remember the Buffalo Bills. They lost 4 Super Bowls. Now, obviously, they would like to have won at least one, but we do remember them. Famous for second place. Rocco Mediate is famous for finishing second to Tiger. Would he have gotten as much notoriety had he defeated Tiger Woods? Because this is where you go, Rocco Mediate. Oh, that's the guy who lost to Tiger. Now, would we have said, oh, that's the guy who beat Tiger when Tiger needed major knee surgery? But it feels like we remember Rocco Mediate because he didn't win. Yes, McLevin.
The name that jumped to my mind is Ralph Branca, who gave up the shot heard around the world. I feel like he made a famous career of a negative.
Okay.
Maybe that's not apples and oranges, but that's a name that jumped to me.
I'm trying to think of other teams or individuals where you go, they're famous because they didn't win. You know, a valiant effort, but they lost. Yeah, Paulie.
Greg Norman, as great as he was, as many times he won at golf, is more known for second place than first place, even though he made a lot of money, succeeded a lot.
Yeah, one of the great golfers in history. All right, we'll come up with a poll question here. The Dan Patrick Show is brought to you by Farmers Insurance. They will customize home insurance packages, and they offer coverage options that you can tailor for your home turf. At Farmers, they know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two. Discover home coverage options and more at farmers.com. All right, Bill Plaschke will join us on loan from the LA Times. And I want to talk to him about what's going on with the Lakers, because I mentioned this yesterday, and I thought maybe there's a joke attached to this, but Lonzo Ball has a rap album, or he had a diss track, as the kids like to say, and he zeroed in on his teammate Kyle Kuzma. And it got really personal. And I'm thinking, I know that they poke fun at each other, but it seemed really childish what Lonzo Ball was doing. And Lonzo, by all accounts, has handled himself quite well in the, with the circumstances with his dad. He's the opposite of his dad. But then this is one of those where you go, what are you doing? Like, this is your teammate, your buddy. It's not an ex-teammate. It's not like D'Angelo Russell. This is your teammate. And it just felt like, why it was un-Lonzo Ball-like. And then I'm thinking, if I'm LeBron and I see silly stuff like this, like, does that make you pause. Now, I would pause if I, knew that LeVar Ball was attached to this and I was going to go to the Lakers. Like, I would be really concerned about that if I was LeBron James. Because, LeVar Ball is going to say something, and he's going to, if somehow LeBron doesn't live up to his end of the bargain, or, Lonzo's not playing well, he's going to come out and say something. But, man, I was surprised at this. Unless this is the norm when you have a diss track, like you really, it's not like Eminem, when he's having his rap battles here. But this was kind of surprising there for Lonzo Ball. Who knew? Yeah, Paulie.
He didn't seem like the kind of guy would do this. His father would drop a diss track.
Yeah. Yes, he would.
And old school.
Yeah.
Extremely old school.
But I was just surprised. So I wanted to have Plaschke on because Bill wrote a column yesterday and said, the person who really has to step up here with the Lakers is Magic Johnson. What does Magic do? How does Magic get LeBron James to go to Los Angeles? Unless he already knows he's going to Los Angeles. But that role that Magic Johnson plays. Because keep in mind, when Peyton Manning went to Denver, one of the reasons why he went to Denver is John Elway flew to Peyton Manning to say, I want you here in Denver. And that meant a lot. That resonated with Peyton Manning. Because this is the recruitment. LeBron never went to college. And he didn't get that recruitment. This is your recruitment. You're going out and you're trying. I need Magic in LeBron's living room with LeBron and the kids and his wife. And all of a sudden, you got to come out of there with a scholarship. We're going to give you a scholarship and we're going to pay you really well. But I also was thinking about this with just the Lakers roster. I got Brandon Ingram, who I like. Lonzo Ball and LeBron is going to be an odd mix, an odd marriage there. I don't think we know what we have in Randall. I just, if you say Randall can be our Draymond Green, okay. Now I get Paul George in there. Okay. I mean, at least you got people's attention there. Is Chris Paul going to stay in Houston? So there's other things that you can do. I'd certainly do a drive-by in Trevor Ariza if I were the Lakers and be able to get him there. But can you get some depth there? What's the starting lineup going to look like? And the role that Magic Johnson plays, I think, cannot be overstated here. So we'll talk to Bill Plaschke about that. Yeah, Pauline.
You brought up that LeBron never went to college. We're hoping LeBron on this side does the three hats table. Maybe what's it, St. Vincent's High School? He goes back to his old high school, puts on a Letterman jacket, and puts 3 NBA hats in front of him. That wouldn't get ripped. That would not get torn up.
It doesn't matter what he does.
Right.
It's going to get ripped.
He could give $10 million to a charity as he's doing it.
Yes, he could. Yes, he.
There is actually a surprising amount of pressure on him on how he's going to choose to announce what he's going to do, because obviously the decision went horribly wrong.
Yes.
But leaving Miami to go back to Cleveland, and he did the article for Sports Illustrated, that went over really well. That was more like a, whoa, how did everybody hold on to this? This is crazy.
Kept it quiet.
Yeah. So that went really well.
Yes, McLovin.
Why doesn't he just do it on his own social media platform? Just Instagram out.
Well, but then he's being selfish, and it's all about it. Doesn't matter what he does, McLovin. Somehow, some way, LeBron's going to get criticized. Yeah, Paul.
I got it. An homage to Michael Jordan. Remember Jordan did the fax, I'm back? Find a fax machine somewhere in our country and have him fax. Why don't you be like,
when's the last time you faxed something?
We still use ours a little bit, but we have to dust it off when we use it.
Yeah. I'm always wondering, does this thing still work or not? Oh, it does.
LeBron should crank up the fax and do a Michael Jordan, I'm back fax.
All right, McLovin, what kind of poll question do you have for us today?
Okay, well, we always used to do, when it was a major, Tiger versus the field, and now the new version, does Tiger make the cut, yes or no?
When was the last time we did Tiger versus the field as a poll question? Maybe 2009?
Probably.
When he was coming back from knee surgery?
Well, he had that one year where he won a bunch of tournaments. Did we sneak one in there?
Was that 2013?
He was player of the year.
He was player of the year, but he didn't win a major. Man, if I would have told you. So has there been a longer period of not winning majors as opposed to winning majors for Tiger?
It's getting there. He had a run from his first major to his last was about 11 years long, and now he's at 10 years for his drought.
I'm going to ask the audience to help out. If you can remember or think of a team or an individual who got more credit for not winning. And Rocco Mediate has had a nice career. I'm talking about fame for not winning. I was going to say the runner from Australia who was there in 1968 with Tommy Smith and John Carlos when they held up the Black Fist. But I don't remember his name. So how much fame did he get? I can't remember his name. But he was a white sprinter. He finished, I think, second in that race and stood there on the podium with Tommy Smith and John Carlos. But if you can think of somebody, a team or an individual who got fame for finishing second, you can call us, 877-3DP-SHOW, email address dp@danpatrick.com, and our Twitter handle with DP Show. Any other poll questions, McLovin, you're considering?
So on Tiger, Paulie has an interesting proposal. If you had a magic wand and could go back and make any athlete perfectly healthy throughout his career, would it be Tiger Woods, good one, Bo Jackson, I think a lot of people from our generation like that. Then we got Jay Williams.
No.
No. Don't sleep on. That's sad how he didn't even get a chance to play in the NBA because of the motorcycle accident.
Yeah, but I've
always felt bad about that one.
Well, I like Jay, but I'm not. I don't want to wave a magic. If I got one wand to wave, it's not going to be Jay Williams.
Duke hater.
Bobby Hurley, you could put right in there.
I was just going to say Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, of course, Bobby Hurley in there.
Terrell Davis. Mario Lemieux played enough, right? Because he came back.
But he was still the best player in the game when he got his back injury. Same with Bird. If Bird had 3 more years without the back injury.
Yeah, Bird's not on here.
Grant Hill really was robbed of a lot of
I wonder what those numbers for Grant Hill would look like. Because those first 5 years, woo.
I want to say Greg Oden, too. I just feel like it's so unfair what
it's not fair.
Life did to him.
Let's see. Who else would be?
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton, yeah. Paulie?
Grant Hill was just hitting his stride when he got injured. He was 27. He averaged 26, 7, and 5.
Yeah.
He was the best all-purpose player.
Yeah.
I tell you who's going to win this poll. It's Bo Jackson.
Yeah, Bo Jackson, probably.
I mean, can you imagine if he came along today and could do that in football and baseball?
Well, he did it for a little while and reached immortality, I think.
How come we don't put RG3 on this list? He had a Rookie of the Year. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. He doesn't belong at all.
I don't know. Yeah, Paul.
There's another one I wanted to put on this list was Ken Griffey Jr. If he stayed healthy and didn't get hurt at age 30, from 30 to 35, he would have piled up a couple more MVPs. He still had a great career, but it could have been the best.
Fritzy just sent me a note on, runner-up teams that reached infamy or fame. The 1972 U.S. Olympic basketball team finished in second. Yeah.
Each time I've seen that, how do you get more and more angry that they kept giving them another and another chance?
And I can't blame that on Putin. He wasn't in power back then. As far as we know.
He was a ball boy for the Russian
he was
team.
Like Chris Mannix with the Boston Celtics. Putin was there with Alexander Belov. All right, we'll take a break. We'll get to your phone calls coming up. Coming up next, we'll talk to Rocco Mediate. 10 years ago this week, he went toe-to-toe with Tiger Woods. Bill Plaschke will join us on what's going on with the L.A. Lakers. And the U.S. Open underway. We'll have our U.S. Open draft. We do have a listener who will take part. We'll tell you about that. We had close to 1,000 people download the app to be involved in this. So thank you for doing that. But we have one winner there, and we'll have the U.S. Open draft. Is this going to be a snake draft? Is that what we're doing here, Paul?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Does the winner go first, or does he go last? Or are we going to draw names out or numbers out of a hat?
I got a hat, but I don't know if in this hat is names or numbers. They just folded them up, so we're going to just see what happens.
Okay. All right. All right, we'll decide on a poll question. We'll get to your phone calls, 877-3DP-SHOW. But up next, we'll talk to Rocco Mediate here on The Dan Patrick Show.
Support for the Dan Patrick Show comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. They understand that home plays a big role in your life and family, and that's why they created Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage gives you the confidence you need when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. It's simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or your 10th, with Rocket Mortgage, you get a transparent online process that gives you the confidence to make an informed decision. It's convenient. Our trusted partners allow you to share your financial information with Rocket Mortgage at the touch of a button. And in addition to getting a real mortgage approval in minutes, you can even adjust the rate and length of your loan in real time to make sure you're getting the right solution for you. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully. Mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Dan, equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS, consumeraccess.org, number 3030. These days, news travels lightning fast, which is great if you're a sports fan. Between status updates, breaking news notifications, and Twitter feeds, you can always be up to the minute on every team and every game. And while this is great for sports fans, it's the opposite when it comes to buying a car. Go online and you're bombarded with numbers. Invoice, list price, dealer price. It's hard to know or even recognize a good price. But not anymore. Introducing True Price from TrueCar. It's the only price you need to know because it's exactly what you'll pay for the car you want, including fees and accessories. How do you know if True Price is a great price? Because TrueCar shows you what other people paid for that same car you want, so you know how to recognize a good price. And your certified dealers know this. They set their true price competitively so they can win your business. So when you're ready to buy a new car or a used car, visit TrueCar and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. So stop being bombarded with all of these numbers online. Get the only number you need to know with True Price from TrueCar. Some features not available in all states.
All right. Our poll question, McLovin. Yes.
We have another option.
Oh, okay.
That we're throwing out here.
All right.
Would you rather win the U.S. Open in golf or be on the World Cup winning team? Because I've heard that is like the most incredible experience in sports. Is it to score a goal in the World Cup or to be on the winning team?
Okay.
And?
I probably would rather be a U.S. Open winner, being a golfer.
Oh, is that the obvious? Everyone here?
No, I don't think it's obvious. I think if you said you can be on Belgium when they win the World Cup, starting to see a lot of ammo for Seton O'Connor. He only needed one country for the World Cup and a shower of shame attached to it. He came right out. Boom, Belgium. That's it. Drop the mic. Yeah, Fritzy.
What if you can score the winning goal late in the championship game of the World Cup for your country, as opposed to just being a member of the team? How would that change your attitude?
What country am I going to
Any
win?
country that you would feel the most proud to have
United
accomplished something.
States.
There you go. So you got, like in the 88th minute, you got the winning goal.
Well, but could you imagine if the men won the World Cup and you scored the game-winning goal?
That'd be like better than the U.S. ice hockey. You can't do that. That's too good.
Would it be a bigger upset
than U.S. beating Russia in ice hockey at 80?
Yeah.
I think it would.
So in 2026, when Team USA stuns the world, it's going to be a bigger story than 1980 Miracle on Ice?
It may not be a bigger story, but maybe a tougher accomplishment. I don't think our team was that bad. Hockey.
Yes.
I feel like you have to think of sort of like globally what USA versus Russia probably meant in 1980.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't really old enough to remember any of that, but did any of that play a part in why this was such a big?
Yeah, you had the Cold War, and then we
Right.
didn't even have the Summer Olympics. We had an Olympic boycott because of the Cold War.
A lot of that had to fuel the, passion behind what a great upset that was.
Yeah. All right, let me get a couple of phone calls in here. John in Pennsylvania. Hi, John. What do you have for me today?
Hey, Dan.
Hey, John.
How about Jim Kelly's meteoric rise in his 4 losses with the Buffalo Bills?
All right. Yeah, we mentioned the Buffalo Bills. Thank you, John, of, gaining fame by not winning. Casey in Indiana. Hi, Case. What do you have for me?
5'11", 170. The team that gained fame from finishing second place, Gordon Hayward, Brad Stevens, and the entire Butler Bulldog basketball program. Most famous play is a missed half-court shot in the national championship game.
All right,
Suck
thank
it
you,
back
Case.
row. Love you guys.
All right, and a suck it back row. All right. Jason in North Carolina. Hi, Jason. What do you have for me?
Hey, Dan. Greetings. 5'5", a sexy 185.
All right.
For an individual, I submit, is only known for losing Jean Van de Velde in the British Open.
Yeah. Yeah, he gained infamy, but, and thanks for the phone call. But it was also one of those where we sort of laughed at him and how he went down in flames. Like, it was cringeworthy when you're watching Jean Van de Velde. When he started to roll up his pant leg, and I went, oh, my God, no. Whereas Rocco Mediate distinguished himself because Rocco was answering every blow. Every time that he would get rocked by Tiger, he'd come back, and then he'd put Tiger on his heels. So if you're not going to win, I don't like to say Rocco lost as much as if you're not going to win, that's the way not to win. And you gave your best. It just wasn't good enough. I got a stat of the day, play of the day coming up, more of your phone calls. And, I like the one about the magic wand. But it would be Bo Jackson.
Why do we put it up? Because Tiger might get some answers there. It's a Tiger day.
But we already saw a 10-year window with Tiger. Bo, we just got teased by Bo Jackson. And you got teased by him twice in baseball and then in football. And what could have been. Because he could have been a Hall of Famer in either sport, both sports. I mean, that's how incredible Bo Jackson was. All right, let's bring in Rocco Mediate. I'm sure we're the only show that called for him, to talk about the 10-year anniversary. Is that right, Rocco? We're the only show that called, right?
The only one, the only one. No, I haven't done a lot of them, but when your guys called, I went, well, you can't say no to Dan. I mean, that would be just stupid. So,
well, we had you on the day after, and I don't know if you realized just what it was. I mean, you had to feel proud of how you played against Tiger, but
oh, sure.
What do you remember about that whole week and then that extra day you had with the playoff with Tiger?
Yeah, the whole week, it was one of those weeks, obviously opens, I feel like you're either playing great at the U.S. Open or you're just there. And I was playing great before the Open. I played good at Memorial at Mr. Nicklaus's tournament. Then we had a week off, and I came, and I was still, obviously still playing good. And I just love Opens. And then Torrey, in an Open condition, which none of us have ever seen, is firm and fast, which in February when we played, it's soft and wet and cold. So I knew I was going to like the golf course already because I like USGA setup. So I knew I'd like it. And I knew at 74,000 yards long, like they wanted to have it, I would be okay because the ball's going to move on the ground and, tee shots and stuff. So you didn't have to hit it 4,000 yards. You could just hit it normal and it would run out there where I could play just fine from. And that's what happened.
But that playoff, the day of the playoff, how much did you and Tiger talk?
Talked about a reasonable amount, normal. I didn't go out there trying to overdo anything. I just did what I usually do. I wasn't going to be quieter either to the people around me, Matthew, my caddy, and just, I talked to a lot of the USGA guys because that's how I get my nervousness out or whatever. I have to talk. So, but Tiger and I definitely talked a little bit. Sure. Absolutely. And I had him laughing a few times because I kept looking, going, what are you doing? Stop it. And just stop it. But, I look at it that way. But I was going to ask you a question.
Okay.
And I've never asked anybody this question. Why do you think people were so intrigued by this? I mean, I kind of know why, because I think it was supposed to be a destruction and a blowout. But what do you think as a guy that's watching it and knows sports, obviously?
I think people looked at you as everyman. I think people saw themselves in you where we knew we couldn't be Tiger, but we saw you. You were trying to take down the king. You were trying to take down, and you pushed him.
The man, yeah.
And it's not like you didn't lose the U.S. Open. He won it, and there's a difference in that.
Right.
And I think that's what we looked at you and said, oh, my God, he's going toe-to-toe with Mike Tyson here, and you're lasting. Now you extended to another day, and the fact that it was – I think you led after the 14th hole on that playoff
15th,
day.
yeah. On 16, I was one ahead.
Oh, boy. What are you thinking at the time?
Well, what I'm thinking at the time is this is exactly where I thought I was going to be when I woke up. Leading this, I thought when I woke up, and I said this to a few people, and I think some people look at me like I have like 3 eyes and 5 legs. I knew when I woke up Monday I was going to win. I knew I was because I knew I was better through the air. And Opens usually are won through the air, tee to green, and then you putt reasonably well, and you have a shot at it. As you'll see this week, probably the leader in fairways and greens probably going to win this tournament at Shinnecock, but. The greatest of all time can do things a lot of different ways. But I also thought was this, Daniel. This is hilarious. So I'm thinking, obviously I watched him for 4 days. I played behind him on Saturday, in front of him on Sunday. I heard things Sunday. I saw the finish on. Basically, I was watching him eagle the last 15 and 18 and whatever eagled 13 and 18. And I'm watching all that, and I'm also thinking to myself, this man, being the greatest, still can't possibly do this for 5 straight days. It can't happen. So that's what I'm thinking that too. I'm like, well, the odds are against him right now. The odds are always were going to be against me on Monday, but they're against him too, because if he hits it like he did the first couple of days, I don't think it can happen. And of course, he did the same thing, and he did the same thing. So it's just one of those things. I say the greatest of all time players, you name them all, they do great things all the time they do things you're not supposed to do pretty much all the time. That's why they're the greatest of all time.
He's Rocco,
and Tiger has proved that many, 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 many times.
He's Rocco Mediate. It was 10 years ago this week, finished runner-up to Tiger Woods, his best career finish in a major on the PGA Tour. You have sort of some odd fame attached to this, Rocco. Do you think you got more attention because you didn't win as opposed to if you had won that U.S. Open over Tiger Woods?
Yeah, I don't really know. Nothing really amazing can happen out of it except for the people noticed. I definitely got more people knew who I was, of course, because I was playing against Tiger. If it was anybody else in the event, it wouldn't have been the event like that, obviously, because the number one player in the world. But I guarantee you, if I would have won, well, his leg was broken. I mean, of course you're going to beat him, or you know what I mean. But everyone did say though that you heard that. And, well, I have nothing to lose, and this is he has nothing to lose. Well, I did. I had the most coveted thing I want in my sport, which is the U.S. Open trophy. So I did have everything to lose. We both did. We both wanted it more than you could imagine, and only one of us got to have it. So, yeah, and that was the most fun part of it. It was the attempt and the going up against a guy that I respect as much as anybody in golf, and the guy that I watched grow up basically out there. And he became the best guy out there. And it was fun trying to go up and see what I could do with him. And the only way that's going to happen is if you're playing great golf on that type of course. Then there's a shot. Most other places you're going to get taken apart. But the Open levels things out, especially if you're hitting it a little crooked.
Did you understand how injured he was at the time?
Well, what Tiger did when we played, especially Monday, I never noticed anything. I didn't want to think anything. He never showed me anything on Monday as far as hurt, not once. He never went down. He never slowed down. He never did anything. And that's what, the only way he was not going to play is if he couldn't walk or couldn't, or as if, you know what I mean? He was going to play no matter what. Obviously, he showed that the first 4 days. The first couple of days, he looked terrible as far as his, the pain. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see anything Monday. No, and he played pretty good Monday. I mean, obviously he did. But I mean, he was better Monday than he was the other days as far as hitting his ball. But it was still, you could tell. But it doesn't matter. Like 18, he got up on the last hole, the 90th hole we played, and he drove it probably. This tee shot started. I remember seeing it because when he hit it, I'm like, good Lord, that's pretty far left, and it faded at least 30 yards, and it rolled out to like 320. That's things that I can't do that ever. It's not going to happen. So you look at that and go, here he is. Because I drove in the left rough. I had no chance to reach that green unless I hit a big, low, nasty kind of diving hook out the right that rolled 50, 60 yards. But I missed it left, so I knew what was going to happen with me as far as the layup. But, if he misses that tee shot, it's probably over. As far as, if he can't reach the green, it's just, then it's a battle of the third shot. It's probably over. But he didn't, and he had to have it because he had to have it. And it was he had 5-iron in there. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, yeah, but, just watching it and taking it all in and playing the best golf I could play. But you're right about the getting beat. A lot of Opens like that, a lot of not that there's been a lot of playoffs, but those can ruin careers. Okay, now I was 45 at the time, so I was, I'm almost ready to go to the Champions Tour in 5 years. But if I would have, like I tell people, if I would have 3-putted 18 on Sunday, or if I'd have made a double bogey on 18 on Sunday, or something stupid happens, or in the playoff I make double on the last hole, or I hit in the lake with my wedge or something, my career is danger because I just gave away the biggest event ever in front of the world right in the middle of the fairway. And that's happened to people. And beats like that hurt. I mean, it definitely hurt. But I knew I was going to recover because the test I had against me those 4 or 5 days, especially that Monday, I passed. Okay, I just got beat by the best guy, whatever. But my point is, I took a lot out of that. Well, all the stuff I worked on my whole life worked under the most intensive situations, and it worked pretty much for 5 days. So that told me I'm okay. But it did hurt for a while. It took me a while. But when I won in Fry's a couple of years later, that kind of set me free a little bit because I didn't want the Open to be it because I knew I was only 4 or 5, 6 more years on the regular tour. I'm gone.
Did you save anything from that 2008 U.S. Open?
I have. Well, the USGA has the hat because I had all my. I'm nuts when it comes to that. So I've had pins, all the Open pins from that week. Every Open has different pins, right? So I got all the ones, and my player badge is on the side. So that's in the museum. So they asked me for that. I said, well, of course you have. No, I'm going to say no and take it home. But I gave it to them. So, not really. The medal they give you for second is obviously I have that. And that's really it. I didn't get, like I said, everybody makes fun about the picture, but I don't have a picture of him and I that I wanted personalized just so I could have it and to show people, because it's cool. To me, it's cool. But I really don't have much from that. Memories, that's huge. And 99.9% of them are good ones.
And reason, and good reason for that. Hey, Rocco, it's great to catch up with you. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's fun. I'm feeling great. I'm as fit as a fiddle. I'm as fit as I've been this fit in a while. So everything's good. I'm 55 and I'm hitting it as good as I've ever hit it. So having a blast out on this tour. The PGA Tour champions are having a ball, but it's, as you see, the scores are. It's just like playing the regular tour 25 years ago. If I had you versus Tiger today for one round for the U.S. Open, how do you think you'd do 10 years later? I think it'd be the same type of battle, but unfortunately for me, he's really swinging good right now. and he's healthier. He's really swinging good right now. Yes, he doesn't have a broken leg. No, he looks great. I mean, I think he's going to do crazy things. I mean, people look at me crazy again, but I'm like, this guy ain't done. I mean, I looked at the way he's swinging that golf club right now, and I've paid attention for a lot of years in a row watching him after our event. And it's good, and you can see what's going on. I mean, I think he's got amazing things coming, and I think he's going to He's going to shock the world, but not him. Hey, Rocco, great to catch up with you. Thanks for joining us and reminiscing. Anytime you need me. All right, thank you, buddy. That's Rocco Mediate. That was a great story. And the fact that you go toe-to-toe when you lose, there's no shame in any of that. And I think that's what I took away from it. And I do think that we identified with him. Here's a guy named Rocco, and he's going against Tiger Woods. And nobody knew anything about Rocco. And, he has kind of a funny little setup and a pre-shot routine, and you give us an extra day. Tiger, is Kurt Gibson out there limping towards the finish line, and Rocco is hitting shots. It was great. It was that's what you want when you see something like that. And who was the other guy? Was it Brad May? Brad May, like the guys who have gone toe-to-toe with Tiger, when he had that incredible stretch, weren't big-name players, which is always interesting. It just felt like, Phil was never there or Ernie Els was never there. The great players, it wasn't 1 versus 2. You look back with Jack Nicklaus, a lot of times he's going against Tom Watson or Lee Trevino. You're going against Hall of Fame golfers. Tiger didn't have that. And I think that he won 2 of those majors in playoffs, one against, I think it's Brad May, if that sounds right, and the other one, of course, Rocco Mediate. All right, your phone call is coming up, famous runner-ups, and we'll have our play of the day coming up next as well, and our U.S. Open draft. That's next on The Dan Patrick Show.
Here at PodcastOne, we love hearing from you. We read every tweet and comment you send our way, so don't miss your chance to take our summer listener survey. Just go to PodcastOne.com and click on the survey banner, or go to PodcastOne.com/mysurvey. It only takes a few minutes, and it gives you the opportunity to make a direct impact on your favorite shows. Tell us how you really feel, so we can get to know you better. We value your thoughts and participation, so check out the survey at PodcastOne.com/mysurvey, or click on the survey banner on PodcastOne.com.
Hey, listeners, just wanted to take a minute to thank all our great sponsors and all of you great listeners for supporting this podcast. We certainly couldn't do it without either of you. And I wanted to remind you that you can support our sponsors by going to our show page at PodcastOne.com, clicking on the Support This Podcast button, and there you will see all our wonderful sponsors that help make this show possible. Thank you for downloading, subscribing, and of course, supporting. And now, back to the show.
Stay tuned for 60 seconds of AP News headlines right after this podcast.
Oh, my God.
The play of the day. This is the play of the day.
Check this out. Swinging a high fly ball left field. This is Gardner drifting back on it to the warning track, to the wall. He leaps and it goes. Swinging a high drive to right center field deep. Forget about it. Juan Soto has another home run at Yankee Stadium. That one's out of sight. He clears the Yankees bullpen and gives the Nationals the lead 5-4.
Nationals Radio Network 106.7 The Fan. 19-year-old Juan Soto of the Nationals goes deep twice. Second one, a projected 437 feet. What was the launch angle? Notable 19-year-olds to go deep at Yankee Stadium, Ken Griffey Jr. and Andrew Jones. When we were young, the Killers. Courtesy, the play of the day, brought to you by, well, it's brought to you by Farmers. Protecting your home team, Farmers' customizable home insurance packages offer coverage options you can tailor for your home turf. At Farmers, we know a thing or two. We've seen a thing or two. Discover home coverage options and more at farmers.com. All right, we ready for the U.S. Open draft here? We did open this up. If you downloaded the DP Show app, you had a chance to be entered into the contest. And thanks to Callaway, Kyle DeVoe, or is it Cale DeVoe? It's Cale DeVoe. Is that right, Fritzy?
I believe so.
Okay, it's Cale DeVoe. Is that right, Cale?
Yes, Dan. Yeah, it's Cale. Thanks for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be here.
All right. Cale DeVoe is going to get a Callaway Rogue Driver just for winning the contest. And now we're having our U.S. Open draft. So we picked names out of the hat, and I picked you first, Cale. So you're on the board going first. Your U.S. Open pick is?
With the first pick of the draft, I will take Dusty Johnson.
Dustin Johnson, please. Dustin Johnson is off the board. All right, you went out on a limb right away. Let's see. Fritzy, you're next.
I am going to go with Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas is off the board. McLovin?
I think I'm going to go with a little Rory McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy is off the board. Seton O'Connor III.
I'll go Justin Rose.
Justin Rose was my pick to win it all. You got it. Paulie Esther.
That was your pick.
It was. It's not anymore.
No longer.
Now, Paulie?
Ricky Fowler.
Rick Fowler is off.
Ricardo.
Oh, dang it.
Easy there, Cale.
He's got an orange polo. Nice polo there.
I'm going to go with Jason Day. And I am going to go with the defending champ, Brooks Koepka. Yep. There you go. Now we come back down. Paulie?
Philip Mickelson.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa.
That's a big pick.
Callaway guy. All right. Let's see. Who's next? Seton is.
Oh. I'm going to take...
Tiger.
Yeah, I'll take Tiger. Why
Whoa!
not? Why not? I should have taken Jordan. I'll take Tiger.
Okay. McLovin?
I will take my close personal friend, who I've met twice, Jordan Spieth.
He doesn't know you, but you know him. Fritzy?
I'm going to grab John Rahm.
John Rahm. Or Ram. Cale, you got two picks.
Give me my first pick, Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay, he's played well this year.
And then second pick, courtesy of my Uncle Terry, Webb Simpson.
Webb Simpson, putting well. All right. Next on the list is Fritzy.
I am going to go with Callaway golfer Henrik Stenson.
Henrik von Stenson III. All right. McLovin.
I'm going to go with another close personal friend because he did a video for us. Alex Noren, Callaway's own Alex Noren.
Alex Noren is off the board there. Okay. Seton O'Connor. There's a lot of tension here.
There's a lot of tension here. I'm going to go with Sergio Garcia.
Serge?
Sales.
Yeah.
From Lyman Twist.
Okay. Paulie?
Another good friend of ours, Hideki Matsuyama.
Oh.
Nailed that one.
He hasn't met us, but if he does, he's going to love us.
Very good friend.
I'm going to go with the gritty, gutty Patrick Reed. And... What?
Nothing. Oh, nothing. I'm just chuckling.
Let me see. Now, who's the next one here? I got one more, right? This is it. I'm going to shock you with this one. You're not going to guess it. But you can try.
Jimmy Walker.
Jim Walker, no.
Bubba Watson.
No.
Matt Kuchar.
No.
Charles Schwartzel.
No.
Charles
Schwartzel.
Schwartzel.
If you got a list,
Daniel Berger.
Charles Schwartzel. Tony Finau.
Because of the ankle?
Yes. Tony Finau is off the board.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Paulie, you're next.
The stunningly handsome Adam Scott.
Oh, and a beautiful swing as well.
Yeah, what a stud.
Yeah, Seton O'Connor.
I'll take Brandon Grace.
Brandon Grace, always on the first page of the leaderboard after the opening round. Let's see. McLovin?
Is Tommy Fleetwood Mac still
Tommy
available?
Fleetwood Mac is there.
Great hair.
That's who that was my other. It was either him or Finau. All right, next up is Fritzl J.
I am going to grab Bubba Watson.
All right, Bubba Watson is off the board. Kale? Final pick.
McLovin, you're killing me. Fleetwood was my last pick. Give me Luke List.
Excuse me?
Luke List at
125 to 1. Are you related to him?
Not at all, sir.
Okay. All right. So Luke List. All right. Well, that's it. That's the U.S. Open draft. Kale, we'll make sure we get the Rogue Driver out to you. And thanks for downloading the DP Show app. And we appreciate that. I know Purdue fan, Cubs fan, Liverpool fan, and a proud supporter of the Dan Patrick Show. So we appreciate that. Thank you, Kale.
Yeah, I got one goal. I just want to beat the back row. I just want to tell him to suck it.
All right. You can tell him to suck it. You don't have to beat him. Thank you, Kale. That's Cale DeVoe. He's out of Indiana. Is that right, Paulie?
Yes.
Do we have his hometown in Indiana?
It's in Indiana, yes.
It is in Indiana.
Hometown, Indiana.
Hometown.
A little place called Hometown.
He lives on Main Street.
Oh. John Cougar Mellencamp probably wrote about him. Yes, Paulie.
Kale is a first name?
Kale. But it's K, I think. K-A-L-E.
Like the food.
Yeah. I'm sure he gets that all the time.
Is he bland and healthy?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
no offense.
Taking a shot here. Not on the phone anymore.
Not necessary.
Cale DeVoe. I don't know if I feel very good about my squad.
Nobody has post-draft
I hate it.
angst.
I just hate it.
You know, the good news is that most people have already teed off. Like, they're already well into their round. So we can see, like, I'm getting word now that Rory's already +7.
No way.
Wait, what?
No way. Rory McIlroy's +7?
Spieth is already way over.
Wait, what?
No, you're not hearing that. No.
Don't tell me Alex Noren's in the woods right now.
He got DQ'd. He had too many clubs in his bag. I had a dream that Tony Finau won the U.S. Open. See, most people have interesting dreams. I had a dream that Tony Finau won the U.S. Open. Yes, Eden. Any other updates?
Tell me more about your dream, Dan.
What is going on with this scoreboard? Scott Gregory? What?
Yeah, Paulie.
Rory is +6 after,
hello!
5 holes.
Ouch.
Hello. Where's Jordan?
+5.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Can we redo this whole thing?
Told you.
I told you guys to look at the leaderboard. And you guys said, no, this is a sport of whatever, dignity and gentlemen. I said, no, I'm trying to win the damn thing. All right, one eye on their books, 2 more to go. Dan Patrick Show.
Hi, this is Ben Domenech, the host of the Federalist Radio Hour. We're a daily show coming to you 5 days a week from Washington, D.C., where we interview our nation's top journalists, politicians, authors, chefs, economists, entertainers, and more. If you're looking for a contrarian discussion on news, politics, or culture, give us a listen and subscribe at PodcastOne.com, the new Podcast One app, or at Apple Podcasts.
Now ADT can help protect your family at home and on the go. Get started with ADT's best offer, an ADT starter kit and security camera installed free. A savings of $449. Plus, you'll get ADT Go, the new family mobile safety app and service for 24/7 emergency response. Go to ADT.com/podcast today to take advantage of ADT's best offer with 36-month monitoring contract, easy pay and QSP. Early termination and activation fees apply. Additional charge for ADT Go premium services after 3/31/18. Certain markets excluded. Licenses available at ADT.com. Offer ends April 1st.
4 shot. I'm Tim McGuire with an AP Newsminute. Police in Westminster, Colorado, a Denver suburb, have a person in custody after 2 adults and 2 children were shot in an office parking lot this afternoon. Investigators say they're interviewing the driver of a car seen leaving that lot at the time of the shooting. Still no word on the conditions of the shooting victims. The Justice Department's Inspector General releases a report on FBI handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Included in the findings that former FBI Director James Comey was insubordinate and departed from normal procedure, and there was no political bias involved. Director Christopher Wray says the Bureau has learned some lessons.
We're going to learn from this report, and we're going to be better and stronger as a result.
The report also found an FBI attorney was removed from the special counsel's Russia investigation for writing anti-Trump messages. That's in addition to an FBI agent who was also taken off that investigation because of his emails to another FBI attorney. I'm Tim McGuire.